and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. I do want to thank you for joining us tonight. Now remember, viewers, I always encourage you to share our live stream on Facebook, on YouTube. Share our live stream. Just share it and share it and share it and share it. If you're not on Facebook, you could go into YouTube, TT Real Talk, subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. If you have a Facebook account, you could type in Real Talk with Saieed Ali. When our Facebook page pops up, just like it and share it. So I want to say a special good night to you, Trinidad and Tobago, of the Caribbean and around the globe. Those of you that are locked onto Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Synergy Network. You know, tonight, normally I know it's a relationship night tonight. But the talk of the town in Trinidad and Tobago for the last week or so is that business places have been telling their workers, if you are not vaccinated, you cannot come out to work. If you are not vaccinated, you have to double up on your mask. You have to wear a face shield. You have to present a PCR test as often as possible. 2 weeks, every month. So I know most of you that you all are looking out for our relationship segment tonight. But this have been heavy on my heart for the entire week, for the last couple of days since it came out in Trinidad and Tobago. Just imagine, we have been locked down for 3 months, almost 3 months. We couldn't go to work. We had to stay home. Business places closed down. Some went out of business completely. A simple thing as food, street food could not be sold. Dining in restaurants, we could not have done that. The retail sector in Trinidad and Tobago have completely closed. But when the country start opening back, the manufacturing company, the market, supermarket, pharmacies, now business places have been telling their staff, if you are not vaccinated, you cannot come to work. You cannot be on the payroll. So tonight, viewers, we're going to have a discussion tonight. We're going to have a discussion tonight. Do you think that there will be a division with the vaccinated and the unvaccinated people? Why is it that the business places in Trinidad and Tobago are discriminating against those who are not vaccinated? Why is that? Could you tell me why? When there were no vaccine, you were allowed to come to work as normal. You take the vaccine, double dose, you tested positive, and you still have to bloody hell stay home. You take the vaccine, double dose, and you're in an office or you're in a business place, and somebody is contracted with COVID-19, you who even take the vaccine, your 2 doses, you still have to go into quarantine, even though you test negative. 2386716. In the coming weeks, there will be chaos in Trinidad and Tobago between the vaccinated and the unvaccinated in the business sector. And tonight we want to talk about that. Before it escalates into some war, or some business places being stoned down, or broken into, or set ablaze, we want to see if we could prevent that. Because this is a very, very serious thing. A very, very serious issue that we are going to be dealing with in Trinidad and Tobago in the coming weeks. Because business places already start putting out flyers, pamphlets, that if you are not vaccinated, you cannot come out to work. Why is this? Why is this? You take the vaccine, you test positive, you're in quarantine. You take the vaccine, you test negative because of the fact that you're in the area in the business place with somebody being tested positive. You have to stay home even though you're vaccinated. So we are going to have some problems in Trinidad and Tobago between the business sector and the workers. Call good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali. Happy Friday to you.
Thank you, my dear. Same to you.
Concerning the employer and employee situation,
yes,
I am backing you up 100%. I believe in what you are saying, and I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the vaccine, seeing that there is no transparency in this country at all.
Correct.
Right? Where anything is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is being transparent with us when it comes to the vaccine, when it comes to our positive cases, our death toll,
mm-hmm.
and cause of death. Everything is like a hush thing. And then we have a prime minister who is coming now and being blatantly lying and dictating to us and telling us that, well, what can we do about it? We can't do anything about it. There's nothing we can do. But we need to stand up, and we need to stand up for ourselves, because after reading an article today from the U.S.,
mm-hmm.
Mr. Ali, that even though you have 2 shots of your vaccine,
yes,
and you get the Delta, you are still going to get the Delta. Right? Once
mm-hmm.
the Delta comes here, you're still exposed to getting the Delta.
Yes.
And you're going to be just as well be able to spread it the same way as an unvaccinated person. So that is the article that I read today from the U.S.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I read the same thing.
Right. We need to be exposed. We need to open up our minds and think for ourselves. We need to stop letting these people dictate to us what we have to do. But when it comes to employer-employee, I agree that you can't be vaccinated and have unvaccinated people, but then that's their choice.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's their choice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's human rights. We can't fight people for their human rights, but you can't fire a person for that. So we need to come up with some clause or some kind of agreement,
mm-hmm.
written agreement between employer and employee. Have your vaccinated people one side and have your unvaccinated people one side. Do something, but don't have the people on the breadline. We have too many people suffering in this country, Mr. Ali.
True.
Too many people. We have hungry people out there. And these people don't care about them. They don't even know how to buy a cup of tea or how to buy a piece of roti or something. But we have to look for that. We have to look to get everything. How are we going to pay our bills? Nothing is coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And look at flood down in South. Who cares?
True.
Who cares? Nobody. We need to stand up. Come on, TNC. We need to rally around ourselves, and we need to wake up and smell the coffee. Thank you, Mr. Ali.
Thank you, my dear. Now, viewers, the business places and them. I have always been, since I started to say this. Are they going to take the unvaccinated people money? Are they going to take the unvaccinated people money? Because I will tell you something. These same business places and them, 2020 when COVID-19 was around, some of these same business places was busting your head with price. These same business places busting your head with price. And you had to come to work whether you like it or not. And the same workers and them have to sweat the same way whether you have the COVID-19 or not. They didn't want to hear about lockdown. They didn't want to hear about 6 to 6. They didn't want to hear about nothing. Now they are telling you, the workers, that if you are not vaccinated, you cannot come out to work. They don't want to be responsible for the debt. But when they busting the blasted people's head with price last year, you didn't study if a bandit would I be attacking you. You didn't study in that. Let me tell all you something. Let me tell all you something. All you will be going against all your own self just now. Take what's telling all you. Call her good night.
Good evening, Mr. Sai.
My friend.
Sai, this situation is such a controversial and delicate situation.
Very, yes. Yes.
That people have to be very cautious how they go forward with this thing. Now, I've tried to research all over the world where businesses doing similar things like this. And there's not really much recourse for the employee on grounds that they could stand on. Now, similar in Trinidad and Tobago, in the private sector, like let's say the food industry and all these things, where they are demanding that people be vaccinated to come to work now. Every business could impose that clause into their for their employees. And you as the employee have to accept it or do accept it. Now, where that is concerned, I feel is really ridiculous because people are supposed to have a choice whether they want to be vaccinated or not.
Correct.
And then they should be employed and be considered for employment. So, this situation is a very ticklish one. And the employer side, which is the people who own the business, they could make whatever requisition they want for people who to come to be employed in their place. And it's up to you whether you accept it or not. So, and there's not much recourse as you can take, because it comes like this. If I say I am open a security business and I want people with GI hairstyle, and you come with some dreadlocks, so you come with your hair long and all kind of thing, I could say, here what? I don't want you employed in my organization.
True.
It's up to you now to say, okay, well, I'm going to cut my hair and I come back and things. So it's the same situation. In the government sector now, they have protection where people could have legal grounds on discrimination and all these kind of things.
Yes.
I don't think that is right to the private sector because, like I say, in the morning, you who work in an organization for 10 years and you don't want to get vaccinated, they could say, okay, well, fine, you get dismissed.
Yes.
And the other thing they're telling you to do now, that you have to do a PCR test once or twice a week at your own cost. With a PCR test is $1,600.
Correct.
You're talking about.
Correct.
And if you're working for less than $900 a week, where you getting $1,600 to do, so technically they're telling you, they're firing you if you don't get vaccinated. So like I say, moving forward with this is a very, very ticklish. People could have their emotions and things and respond to it in a certain way. But like I say, the best thing for people to do is to get their legal representative. And trust me, there really is not much recourse you could do or get out for this. Have a good night, Mr. Said. Enjoy your rest of the day.
Thank you, my friend. This week, business places have been putting out documents stating that you have to be vaccinated in order to enter, in order to work. But the thing is only 187,000 plus have been double dose vaccinated. We still have 1,100,000 and something thousand unvaccinated. So why are we starting this little discrimination with only 187,000 people being vaccinated? Why are we going down this road? It is too early to do this. It is too early. We need to find a solution before this escalates into, let me tell you something, into, I would say, a massacre in Trinidad. You know why? Because when people cannot go to work, and people looking at the outcome of the vaccine, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think will happen to Trinidad and Tobago while the business people sleeping? hungry people will be breaking into their business. This is a reality. In the coming weeks, we are going to have problems with this. So we need to find a solution before that problem arises. Call a good night.
Good night, Saieed. You know, who are the really people, what they call the scientists here and what have you? A gentleman comes from Canada, of course you have Trinidad roots and all these kind of things.
Yes.
Have two superior vaccines in terms of Pfizer and Moderna, you turn him away.
Yes.
And then you have people come in illegally with no vaccine at all, nothing.
And you register them legally.
And you register them. What kind of thing does this government have any sense? The next thing. People, you know, outside so long, the little that they have, the crumbs, as you would say, they rake and scrape, they manage to stay outside, deny entry into their own country. Now, what about all those millions, what they are saying, and them say they pay for quarantine and this. Now you expect people to, and now look at the kind of hotel. That is their friend and family hotel. They have to find 15,000. Where is this? What is it really going on in this country? What is it really going on? Does these people care anything at all? Now, COVID, vaccinated people could contract, even they said that the COVID people contract the disease. So why, when this employer and then is saying that the non-vaccinated must get the PCR, why vaccinated people take the PCR? Because they are susceptible to this disease. So what kind of district? I think the industrial court had ruled. This is a matter that has been ruled upon in the industrial court. You cannot impose no terms and conditions, you know, on the existing agreement that you have. So this matter is settled. So they don't have capacity at one time when people was once standing up in rain to get vaccinated. What happened with them? They gave in 150 vaccines. So who is to blame for this entire COVID fiasco? Now I'm hearing it through the grapevine. In the upcoming budget, they are going to introduce the property tax. You have an impoverished nation, and you have the government trying to get blood out of stone. What is it they're saying? They're only borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. It is your children and your grandchildren have to pay. Why can't the people, you know, I am making a call. I am making a call tonight. If the PNM supporters want PNM, I mean, a lot of people may not like it. Then let us divide the country, because you cannot impose 1/3 of the population just vote on you, and you're imposing of 1/3 of the population on 2/3 of the population. This is unfair. This is very unfair. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, my friend. You see, something have to be done, you know. Something have to be done. Because I tell you, I have a friend. Together with her friend. His friend A is my friend, and friend B is a friend. Now, my friend, which is A, went and get her COVID-19 shot, double dose. Her friend, which is B, went and get her COVID-19 shot, double dose. Both of them worked in her office. Friend B tested positive after receiving 2 shots. She is presently home under quarantine. My friend, which is friend A now, took a double dose, tested negative, and she also is in quarantine. So this issue now where the business owners telling their workers that they have to be vaccinated in order to work. So if they're vaccinated double dose now and come to work and get COVID-19, what you doing? What you doing? Because the vaccine ain't preventing the spread. It is not preventing the spread. I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that 1.3 million people in Trinidad and Tobago, only 187,000 and some hundreds vaccinated double dose. But we coming up with this type of foolish ideas. Where are we going? Where are we going with this? Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali again. I have one contribution to make again, please. Concerning the gentleman from Canada.
Yes.
With the 2 vaccines. I remember for Father's Day, the Prime Minister's daughter was in the country visiting him for Father's Day. I remember for Mr. Franklin Khan's funeral,
Yes.
his family came from abroad.
Yes.
And it is alleged that one of them tested positive for one of the virus too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I am saying it's alleged, but I am close to positive. Right? So how come this gentleman, so they have family, they have loved ones.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
The poor man don't have loved ones.
I understand.
Why is it that businessmen are saying they must be vaccinated to work? So what about the unvaccinated man who coming to buy by you? You should say no to them.
Simple.
Because their money wouldn't be clean.
It's simple. Don't take his money. He unvaccinated.
Don't take his money.
Thank you,
His
my
money
dear.
wouldn't be clean because he's touching it.
Thank you so much. It is unvaccinated money. I wonder if the business people looking at it in that way. Because last year when they had the COVID, whether you're positive or not, you could come and shop, you know. Come and shop. Yes, we understand the vaccine will prevent you from ending up in the hospital or some serious illness. But people are also seeing where the vaccine are causing illness. I could safely say that because I have a friend from the time she takes her first dose. It's like a migraine. She took her second dose and up to now is migraine. It ain't leave, it there. So for her, taking the vaccine caused her to get a migraine and she's been suffering with that for the last month or so. You can't come and say, well, Saeed, you know you're saying the vaccine causing. I'm telling you about somebody who got it. And they are close to me. So be careful when you're coming around me because I could carry you by the individual. So viewers, before I get all heated up, we understand it's Fire Friday tonight. Just a little information. Are you looking for the proper investment to make? Do you have your cash put down in financial institute and you are not getting a proper return? Real Talk Group of Company is encouraging you to make a Real Talk investment on your return as high as 3.5% return on your investment. So viewers, contact us at 339-1670 or 238-6716. Set up an appointment and come in and we will have a discussion. We will have a discussion. Presently, Real Talk Group of Companies has the highest percentage return on your investment in Trinidad and Tobago presently. So contact us, 339-1670 or 238-6716 and let's talk. So as we move along tonight, viewers, call good night.
Yes, right, good night.
Go right ahead, my friend. We're looking for solutions tonight to fix this problem before it starts.
When you're talking about the vaccine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, I was reading an article today on the papers, right? And the article catch my attention, so I sit down and read the whole entire article. And I was trying to understand where Peter George coming from with this whole thing about unvaccinated workers double masking, putting on face masks, and taking a PCR test every 2 weeks. Now, what they need to understand and get through their brain is that the vaccinated people is just as dangerous as the unvaccinated people. They need to understand that first of all. So you can't just broad brush the people that don't want the so-called vaccine. And I have to blame the Prime Minister and the President for this. From removing the security details,
it started with them, yes.
They separate the vaccinated from the unvaccinated. So it starts from the top.
Yes.
Now, my solution to this is either two things they could do. Either the workers could just leave and look for something else to do, or they could try to get legal redress. Now, let me ask you a question, side. If you have 100 workers, right, and 30 workers take the vaccine and 70 workers say they're not taking it, and 70 workers leave a job, will your business be able to function?
No, I got to answer you there. You see, I value my workers, my 100 workers, whether they're vaccinated or not.
No, but
now listen, If 30% took their vaccine and the next 70% ain't take their vaccine and they leave, I, as the business owner, will lose. You know why?
Right.
These 70 people have been sweating day and night to help me build my business.
Right.
Not because this virus comes along, which means I have to get rid of them. No, the other side is, this 30 people vaccinated and this 70 people unvaccinated. If one person on each side goes outside and contact it, one from this 30, double dose, you have it, you will still go into quarantine home. Unvaccinated, somebody gets it outside, you come in, you will still have to be quarantined home. So together in the whole, if all my workers are home, I would lose, whether they are vaccinated or not.
Right, I hear you, right? But remember, you thinking about your workers.
Yes.
These people sounding to me like them don't care about their workers. They only care about their business. Right? No, I just want to change the topic for 1 minute. I hear I was talking concerning, the last call I was talking concerning the property tax, where they want to introduce, right? These people are mad people. To come and try to introduce a property tax, and I agree with the caller, because they have to be crazy to try and bring property tax on people now. After people going through all this hardship side. You know, I read an article before in the papers where the housing minister, Penelope Beckers, come out and saying that how these people who they're giving HDC house to rent, they owe in $100 and something million in rent.
It's over 180 million, I believe.
Right, and all them pay for the month is $100,
yes.
Right, now here what I say, you giving them an apartment to rent for that amount of money, side, and them can't pay rent. And me and you who working, buying we land, filling we house from foundation to finish.
Taxing
me. Paying VAT on every single thing I buy. Then you come and just tell me I had to pay property tax for something I work and sweat and build.
Yep.
Something wrong with them, boy. Something has to be wrong with them. And let me tell you something, that is a criminal offense, right? Because it come like you're bribing these people to keep them there voting for you, and you have we working and suffering,
paying for them,
paying taxes to mind them, and that is not the right thing, side.
Correct.
That is not governance.
Thank you, my friend.
Right. Good night and enjoy your night.
Thank you so much, my friend. You see, I will tell you something. Put aside UNC, put aside PNM. Put aside the race, put aside the color of the skin. Because when you go in the market, all are we meeting up in the market. When you go in the grocery, all of us meeting up in the grocery. Because I go tell you something, when you hear a big grocery or a small grocery bring a container of dal from Canada, whether you're black or you're white, you're buying the bloody hell dal in the grocery because everybody like dal puri. So it had nothing between the black and the black one like dal puri and the white one like dal. No, it's the same bloody hell dal coming from Canada in the container, the rich grocery selling and the side the road parlor shop selling. I want to let you understand that. Let me tell you something. In the coming weeks, we will have real bacchanal in Trinidad, you know, with this vaccinated and unvaccinated crap, you know. I'm telling all you. And the Prime Minister and the President who started it, they will have to answer. They will have to answer for it. Now, why the Prime Minister decided to move the unvaccinated security details when he got COVID-19 twice? He did not remove anybody from around him. Now, haven't he moved anybody? He didn't move the wife. He didn't move the children. He didn't move the workers. He didn't move the farmers. He didn't move the gardeners. He didn't move the driver. He didn't move the security. But you were positive with COVID-19. But as you get vaccinated now, you feel you is God. Nothing cannot happen to you again. So you started to push this sector. And then they start to push that sector. And then they start to push that sector. And what do you know in the coming weeks? You're stirring up something that you have no idea of the repercussion it will leave in Trinidad and Tobago. I am telling you that. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Saeed.
Yes?
I want to know, do you have a security firm?
Have an intelligence unit, yes?
Yes, like you take on workers there?
Nah, not presently.
Oh, no, someone, a close relative, now he need a work.
Oh, okay. Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Do you have any employment for anybody at all?
Not at the moment. I'm not employing at the moment. But Trinidad and Tobago, we having an issue. I am telling you, we having an issue. We still have 1.1 million people unvaccinated in Trinidad and Tobago. 187,000 people alone in Trinidad and Tobago, with a country of 1.3 million people, is vaccinated. Only 187,000. And to have the Prime Minister and the President do something like this is total madness. I am telling you that. Remember when the Prime Minister said, if you write a letter to India Prime Minister and ask him for vaccine, it come like he's begging? What did he do to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago by just using that term? What did he do? Whether it was UNC, whether it was PNM, he showed you that I am not going to beg. He showed you that. Whether you voted for him or you did not vote for him, he demonstrated that power. He demonstrated that authority over you. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed. How are you?
I'm okay. Go right ahead.
I just wanted to continue with the what you're speaking about the vaccine. There's something called, you know that, it's called anaphylaxis, which is an allergic reaction to an injection. People would be willing, but they cannot because the jaw will lock up, they will get something, they could die with it. What do we do with these people? You have good workers. What do you tell them? Well, you know, you have anaphylaxis, so you have no reason, I won't be able, you'll have to go home.
Yeah.
I think we missed the boat. In the United States, the CDC at the end of the day stated that they will be providing the PCR test. So people like Mr. George and Mr. Khan and them, they have to understand that Trinidad is not the U.S.
True.
And tell a worker working on minimum wage to go and work for $2,500 a month. When you have to pay $1,500 a fortnight, it means that you're really trying to get people out. In addition to that, let me tell you the next thing. I don't know why the authorities behaving like this is rubella and smallpox and measles. They get one shot for the rest of their life. When we know, when you check the revenues for Sinopharm, Moderna, Pfizer, AstraZeneca is $1 billion in revenue. Do you know that right now Sinopharm from China is building a plant in Algeria and in Bahrain and Argentina? This is about business.
To produce the vaccine.
They're going to be doing boosters, and this boosters is going to be an annual thing like the flu shot.
Yes.
In addition to that, recently the CDC said, and they admitted, the Pfizer CEO came out and he said, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, the vaccine is waning, meaning that the efficacy is dropping, and after 6 months, it has dropped from 95% down to 80%. So you know what it tells you at the end of the day? It's not going, within 9 to 11 months, the card will expire. I have friends in the United States, and their card is going to expire by November. They know that they need to go back for the fall. One thing I want to say before I go, I want to tell you something. Our people listening in Trinidad. Last week, I had a friend went to Miami, came back. That guy kept his mask on. He had on a mask and a double mask. He did not eat and drink anything. You tell me, you're trying to prevent COVID from spreading. Why are you serving meals on our flight for? Tell me why you're taking off masks, serving coffee and juice and whatever. Trinidadian toilet, eat all your food. It's 4 hours. If it's 3.5 hours, people is fast. You're a Muslim. You fast for a whole day, for a whole month. Fast a little bit, drink your water, go on the plane, keep your mask on, double mask. Do not take off your mask during the flight. No, but that is the brain I call $110,000 a month CEO. trying to tell people that's how you're strategizing, and in a time like this, just doesn't make sense. So I just wanted to leave that to you, and thank you again.
Thank you so much for sharing it, my friends. Now, listen this. Listen this. When in-house dining start back, listen carefully. When in-house dining start back, because the retail sector have to open back. They have to open back gathering and fast food. So when the in-house dining opens back, and you have this crazy policy where unvaccinated cannot work, only vaccinated, those people that are sitting down to dine in restaurant, how are they going to put the food? And where are they going to put the food? Inside the eye? How are they going to eat that food, Navin? How are you going to determine that the individual that is coming in your place with friends or family to sit down and eat, how do you know if they are vaccinated or not? But you're complaining of your workers to be vaccinated in order to come into your establishment to feed people. But we will have unvaccinated people come in for dinner with your friends and your family and your mouth wide open. And having. Like that. Sitting down in the establishment, eating food, while you want to bring out a policy now to clamp down your workers. Where did that common sense came from? Good night, caller.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I have two questions. A guy, one of your callers say if you have 100 employees and 30 were vaccinated, to do the next something they don't want to vaccinate. Look for a job otherwise. But then it will be the same procedure with the employers.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much.
And another thing, they're saying that it have people not taking the vaccine and getting vaccination card.
Well, I understand today that there's a list from the US coming down to Trinidad with some names on it. So hopefully when it hits Trinidad, the Ministry of National Security will deal with that. That is the latest information I have with that as of now.
Okay then.
Thank you, my friend. So you see now, there are people with sense and there are people without sense. You see, because you have a little business, you feel you is King Kong. You feel you is King Kong, you master it all. But you have a food place, when in-house dining open back, when you starting at your workers like this, if you're vaccinated, you can't come to work, because there's only vaccinated people who want serving here in we restaurant. The people that come in to eat there, the people that come in to spend their $1,000 there, or their $2,000, or their $3,000, or even $5,000 in your establishment to sit down and eat, how much of these people will be vaccinated and unvaccinated? Are you going to ask them for a card? Your vaccination card at the entrance of your building? How long do you think your business would last in this economy we are presently in? You're big and you have sense. And that's the talk, that is slang. You're big and you have sense. So this is what I want to hear from all you now. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
My friend, I say we crossed the 1,000.
Well, we're going on to 2,000, but a couple of things. This is not Fire Friday, This is Flambeau Friday. A big wick. Listen to this. You see that fella who want to put his workers under pressure for vaccination? His clientele is the upper class, so he doesn't care. He really serving the 1%ers.
All right, let me say one thing. With all the upper class people and the upper class and the whatever class you're in up there, when they see or when they look at international news and they see all the complications do you think these same people who sit down in golden chairs, you think they're going to take vaccine?
Well, I do know about it because we have an issue with the vaccine. And let me tell you why a lot of people are hesitant. You know why a lot of people is hesitant? Our health system has collapsed a long time ago, without a doubt. For example, for a person to take the vaccine, this is what they want to clear in their mind. They want the mind at ease. They want to know in the event of an adverse reaction, who will they go to? So
correct.
They are afraid because they know if they get sick, they're putting them in a tent. And when they put them in a tent, the number is basically called. So that's going to be added to the 1070 going to 2,000.
Let me add to you. When you had to put you in that tent, what type of treatment you're getting in that tent?
They don't get no treatment.
Thank you very much.
They don't have the requisite patient care. It's not only a doctor and a nurse, it's a cadre of people to look after patients. That is what ICU and AGCU required. Specialists, people with everybody, including the nurse, to basically look after you. You can't take a trainee now out of school to go and check them because that trainee doesn't have a clue what's going on. You understand? So my problem is, as I say, we're going to 2000. And before I go, I want to wish the vaccine vagrant. You know who is he, right? A happy emancipation. He went Ghana and he went into the royal chambers and he negotiated with them for two things.
Yes.
For Carl to fly directly to Ghana and Carl sending home everybody. So that collapsed. And the other thing to come down, he would do real business with you. Cassava, remember you went for a special variety of cassava? If we had bring down that would have been producing so much, you could have buy cheap for it.
I like that shit.
You would have given it out. You giving out and helping the people, and the factories will get their contact you, yes, to give you free cassava. I go, that's my nice night.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. That is when he went Ghana. You will see it on screen, that's when he went. Greeted. See, put on the gap there is where? Nothing wrong with that, you know. Nothing wrong with that. That's part of his policy. But we go have a problem in Trinidad. Take what I'm telling all you. And we have to look for a solution from now before it escalates and business people start losing business. Not only business, but their building. Because this is what you're going to call a discrimination between the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. And who's going to feel the heat? The business sector. Because the business sector need the workers. I have workers working. And let me tell you something. If they choose not to take the vaccine, it's up to them. If they choose to take the vaccine, it is still up to them. Because I understand, whether you're vaccinated or you're not vaccinated, you're still getting the virus. You're still getting it. It's sad to know. It's sad to know that in the coming weeks, this will be our problem. So I am highlighting it before it escalates in the public domain and people start getting hurt. By what? By crazy, stupid, unrealistic policies. Caller, good night.
Good night, sir.
Go right ahead.
Just government. So, I see them as a communist government. Not really a democratic government because they're not giving people a chance to speak. The second thing is that this vaccine, you're killing you. You can't use. People could have a choice because you can't use to go nowhere. Canada don't want to, other countries don't want to. My family in Canada, I can't go overseas because you are blocked from going away with this vaccine they're giving people. They are not treating people right. There's honest practices. The president is supporting the prime minister.
Thank you, my friend. We are getting some feedback. We do apologize. Viewers, you know when I come here and I start to talk, all of the see things happening. in the coming weeks, we will have problems. We will have problems. Because if you're telling your worker, if you aren't vaccinated, you can't come to work. I want to ask you now, as a business individual, are you expecting business from the unvaccinated? Because keep in mind, it's only 187,000 people, plus a couple hundred to add with the 87. Vaccinated, not 200,000. We still have 1.1 million people unvaccinated. So what are you going to do? Are you going to now ask the 1.1 million people to blank your business because they are unvaccinated? Who's going to support you? 187,000 people, that is double dose vaccinated? You have a business, but you may not have the common sense. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Call a good night. Now, viewers, you might say, Saeed, you're going against business people. I am a businessman. I am a businessman. Hence the reason why I don't ask any individual to run an ad on my show, because you cannot tell me what to say. You cannot tell me what to say. Because when I come here on my platform, all you will hear is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. It have no party in my left pocket, neither no party on my right pocket. I will tell you something. Even the business people who sitting down watching now, they would say, yes, Saeed, you're making sense. You're talking sense. 1.1 million people are vaccinated. You telling your workers, you're not vaccinated, don't come to work. If you're unvaccinated, PCR, 1,300, 1,600, 1,100 for PCR. How much are you paying them to bring that PCR every 2 weeks? Or every 3 weeks? Or every month? Keep in mind, you have 1.1 million people unvaccinated. Would your business survive? Or would you close up your shop when the bank come and take your property? I'll talk. It's common sense versus good sense. I see, discrimination is a serious thing, you know. It is a very, very serious thing. I know tonight's supposed to be our relationship topic, you know. But let me tell you something. You see what is trending in Trinidad and Tobago presently? It will cause bacchanal in the coming weeks. In the coming weeks. Brace all yourself. Brace all yourself. It will happen. It will happen. So I want to see how much business will survive while the unvaccinated people choose to stay away from you because of you and your policy with your workers. You see, I will tell you something. Yes, I funded my program. I doing everything. It cost me over $1 million a year. Yes, I doing that. But the thing is, I need you, the viewing public, to make Real Talk the #1 current affairs program. Why? Because when you hear the service provider decided to run a check, a 3 months or a 4 months check, to see which show have the most views in it, that is where you come in. That is where every household in Trinidad and Tobago will come in. And when the internet provider do their search and they realize from 7 to 8 they have Saeed as the #1 current affairs program and as the 3rd best news forecast, is because of you, the viewers. So it's the same way now, the business sector, when you tell your workers or you discriminate them, no vaccine, you still have 1.1 million people who ain't vaccinated. And on top of that, I want to see how much business places going to put security guards at their business place to ask for a vaccination card to come in and shop. to come in and shop. Let me tell you something. I could be glad if the bank called me and say, Saieed, you're licensed to do bailiff, or you're going to do so and so and so. I'm laughing on top of it. Not everybody have common sense. Not everybody. So you think about that. That's something for you to think. Not just me alone. If you're selling doubles, and you have 10 workers, 4 of them take vaccine, we're going to tell the next 6, stay home. You're going to tell the next 6, stay home because they're unvaccinated. No! When the people come by your business, your double stand now, remember, the faster you sell out, the earlier you go home. And the big pile of stash going with you. So the person who's selling the doubles, can I see your vaccination card, please, before I sell you? You going to do that? Are you going to do that? Not everybody have common sense. Not everybody. Not everybody, viewers. And this is where real talk, there's always be outstanding when we deal with the issues. When we deal with the issues. Because the issues is pertaining to you and to me. You think I'm going to put a worker by my door and tell them only let the vaccinated people come in? Let me tell you something. In 2 my business shut down. And it also goes for you. So when dining, in-house dining start back, in-house dining for the restaurants and the fast food place, your worker vaccinated? So when the people sit down now, where are they going to put the food to eat it? With the mask on? Or you're going to push the spoon through the airs? That is why when I reach here on my platform, it ain't have no friend, it ain't have no family, it ain't have no cousin, it ain't have no neighbor. Because the truth is hurt. It is hurt. So viewers, I am encouraging you again. Are you looking for the proper investment? Contact Real Talk group of companies who is offering to the public 3.5% return on your investment. It is that high. 3.5%. So viewers, right now, Real Talk Investment is topping Trinidad and Tobago with the highest return rates. So what I want you to do, call 339-1670 or 238-6716 and make an investment. So I had some clients came this week when they heard my offer. Would you believe some of them went to the bank and they went to the credit unions for withdrawals? Because we're offering the highest percentage in a return investment. Real Talk Investment. Invest in it. Invest in it. I am encouraging you. You have your stash put down. No growth in it. You want to see it grow? 339-1670 or 238-6716. You will be surprised. You will be surprised. Let me tell you something. Real Talk Investment will be one of the biggest investment you would make. You would make. About 3 minutes again. So viewers, I know you all were set and you all were ready for a relationship topic, but I had an issue that was bigger than this, bigger than the relationship to deal with, and that is our labor. You have to go to work, make your money, and come home back. Because there's a saying that goes like this: no money, no love. And I want you to have the money. I want you to be able to work. So the honey and the wife, the honey and the sweetness of the wife or the girlfriend will rub off on you. You know why? Because you work and you have the money to treat them nice. So here's the reason why I had to deal with this topic tonight on Friday night, Friday night. Because in the coming weeks, we're going to have problems. We are going to have problems. So it's better we deal with it now than we wait for it later on to escalate into a bigger massacre problem. Or a pregnant problem. A full problem. You know, it gives me great pleasure to come here and educate you every night. God educated Moses and sent him in a rich man's kingdom to save his people. So God educated me and put me in a rich land to educate you and for you to make the proper investment, to get a proper return. I love Trinidad, you know. It doesn't matter where I travel, I come back to Trinidad. This is my hometown. This is my hometown. And this is my platform. This is my platform. So what are you going to do, viewers? What are you going to do? Are you going to be discriminated? Or are you going to stand for your rights? So viewers, enjoy the weekend. There are certain regulations in place. There are the Ministry of Health regulations. There are the COVID-19 regulations. There are the SOE regulations. I want you to understand that the SOE is still in effect. There's a 9 to 5 curfew. Please adhere to it. Sanitize, wash your hands, wear your mask, social distance, keep your family safe. So until we meet, I just want to remind you, Monday coming is a holiday. So we may not have any show on a Monday, seeing that is a holiday. But keep on our page, Real Talk with Saieed Ali page, and once I confirm with the general manager for Synergy TV that it is okay to have a show on Monday, we will put it up on our page, or you can even tune in on Monday to know if we are on or not. So until we meet again, viewers, remember, make an investment into Real Talk investment, where you get a 3.5 return on your investment. Always look forward for growth in life. Until we meet again, be safe.